It is spicy, and I think the best way to understand it is just to read it to you. So strap in, we're going to go through it and explain essentially what his version of the world is.
Nicola Peltz was born into billionaire money, and she makes sure everyone knows it. From the second you meet her, it's like her wealth is part of the conversation. People in Hollywood whisper that she's one of those rich kids who think cash equals fame. But no matter how hard she tries, stardom just keeps slipping away. Even with her powerful family and all that luxury, fame doesn't come easy. Not everyone's meant for the spotlight. Now about Bella and Gigi, Hadid's brother, Anwar. Word is, Nicola had him totally hooked. Some even say she got in his head so much that he started drifting from his own family. And it doesn't stop there. Many think she's doing the same thing with her husband, Brooklyn Beckham. Remember when Selena Gomez used to be super close with Nicola and Brooklyn? That friendship blew up fast. After a nasty fight, things got so bad, Selena didn't even invite Nicola to her wedding. That's ice cold. Now everyone's wondering, is Nicola the real drama magnet here? The Beckham family's already had its share of tension. And Victoria Beckham's name keeps showing up in the gossip. People say Victoria can be super controlling and may have stirred the pot at Brooklyn's wedding. But let's shift the spotlight for a second. This time, it's all about Nicola. Her story explains a lot. Folks love to paint her as some sweet, innocent rich girl. But don't fall for it. Nicola was born into major money billionaire level cash. Her dad, and maybe even her grandpa, have been sitting on piles of it for decades, meaning she's been living easy since day one. Her family's fortune makes the Beckhams look small time. We're talking triple their net worth. So yeah, money's never been Nicola's issue, but staying away from chaos, that's another story. Before she became Mrs. Beckham, Nicola was dating Anwar Hadid, yep, Gigi, and Bella's brother. But wait, there's more. People forget about their other sister, Alana Hadid. Alana doesn't talk much, but when she does, she speaks her mind. She once called Nicola fame hungry. Word is, Nicola pulled the same trick with Anwar that she's now pulling with Brooklyn, convincing him to step back from his own family. Rumor has it that when Anwar started dating Nicola, he totally stopped talking to his family. Yolanda Hadid, Anwar's mom, allegedly even called Victoria Beckham to warn her, saying, "You have to watch out." Wow. It all sounded like gossip at first, but Alana Hadid kind of confirmed what the family had been thinking all along. An insider even spilled that Anwar began pulling away from Gigi, Bella, and their mom once Nicola stepped into the picture. The source didn't hold back. They said Nicola is every boy mom's nightmare. That's a bold claim. After their messy breakup, Nicola went and unfollowed every single member of the Hadid family. No chance. That ended on good terms. And here's where things get wild. Right after Brooklyn Beckham dropped his emotional posts about family drama, quiet and composed Alana suddenly popped up on Instagram. The timing was just too perfect. It really felt like she had something to say and wasn't holding back anymore. Then came the real explosion, when posts about Nicola started flooding social media. One person went off with a full 8-paragraph rant spilling family secrets, only to end it with, "All we want is privacy." That single line sent the internet into a total frenzy. One person went in. That's when Alana Hadid jumped in and dropped a comment that shook everyone. And that girl doesn't want privacy. She's been trying to be famous for a decade. Ouch. But honestly, Alana might have had a point. Let's be real. Nicola's been chasing the spotlight for years. She's had the kind of money, power, and connections most people could only dream of. But fame, that magic spark just never clicked for her. You can't buy charisma no matter how much designer, glam, or red carpet attention you have. What's wild is that her mom, Claudia, reportedly always dreamed of raising a famous daughter. She wanted one of her kids to conquer Hollywood. So Nicola gave it everything she had. But even with billions backing her, that stardom she craved just didn't stick. Then came the brutal press. One headline literally called Brooklyn Beckham's wife, Nicola, the worst of the worst. And even a monster. That dropped years before the Beckham family feud ever blew up, meaning her image was already shaky long before the drama. Some even started calling her the real-life Regina George, the ultimate mean girl. Actress Bella Thorne once hinted that Nicola was very, very mean. The kind of girl who'd rub her wins right in your face. Harsh, right? But it definitely added gasoline to the gossip storm around her. Back in 2015, Bella called Nicola out, and just a few years later, in 2019, another celebrity came forward with even juicier, a celebrity hairstylist, ready to spill everything. Justin Anderson, the celebrity hairstylist, who's worked with big names like Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Aniston, and Katy Perry, had plenty to say about Nicola. On a podcast, he spilled some serious tea, saying, "I remember this one time. The worst of the worst of the worst was this one little diva. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. It was the new Transformers girl. Her name is Nicola Peltz. She's from a very wealthy family. She was supposed to be the new it girl, but she disappeared. Now she's actually a monster." That's a bold statement to drop on air. But Justin didn't stop there. He went on to say, "This town's too small. If you're rude to people, nobody wants to work with you." He explained how some celebs think, "I'm in this movie now. I'm gonna be huge," and then let the fame go straight to their heads. Once that attitude shows up, the calls stop coming and Hollywood never forgets. Of course, Nicola didn't stay quiet. She fired back, claiming Justin actually burned her hair while bleaching it for a press tour, she said. Her hair literally started falling out in the sink. That's insane. But Justin's friends quickly defended him, saying her story wasn't true and that she just didn't want to stir up more drama. And Justin, he threw in one last jab, joking that he couldn't imagine what it must be like to have Nicola as a daughter-in-law. That's a heavy statement, especially when you think about who her in-laws are. The buzz around the industry keeps growing. And maybe all those stories about Nicola's attitude weren't just empty talk. Justin Anderson even said he actually feels bad for the Beckhams getting dragged into her chaos. His first story about Nicola came out back in 2019. But he's still not backing off. He recently doubled down, saying he's standing 10 toes down on everything he said before, and that's serious confidence. Justin added that Nicola just doesn't give off good vibes, and went as far as saying, "She's not nice, and I'll say it with my full chest." Wow. And honestly, he's not alone. Someone online even joked, based on how many wedding planners she went through, "I think she's the problem." And after hearing the details, that joke might not be too far off. Nicola's dad, Nelson Peltz, actually filed a lawsuit against two of their wedding planners, Nicola and Ariana, who were hired only 6 weeks before the wedding, but got fired just 9 days later. Here's where it gets messy. Nelson claimed the planners exaggerated their experience and refused to return a $159,000 deposit after being let go. But then the planners hit back hard with a countersuit for breach of contract. And to top it all off, they allegedly leaked private WhatsApp messages to the tabloids, painting Nicola and her family as totally unreasonable. The drama was next-level. Things got so wild that Nelson Peltz supposedly considered canceling the entire wedding. That's how messy it got behind the scenes. But Nicola's mom, Claudia, reportedly refused to let that happen. She allegedly said calling it off would destroy Nicola's image and career. Wow. Sounds like the wedding was about way more than love. For the Peltz family, that wedding was a full-blown PR mission. They wanted it to be Nicola's big Hollywood moment, her red carpet-level debut. But instead of a fairy tale event, it became one of the most chaotic celebrity weddings ever. Sure, Nicola's landed a few major gigs over the years, but it's clear her family's dream was to see her hit True A-list status. That's the goal. But with all the gossip about her attitude, you've got to wonder who's actually close to her anymore. Most people wouldn't want to deal with that kind of drama. Shockingly though, Selena Gomez once was. Yep, Selena, Nicola, and Brooklyn Beckham were practically glued together for a while. They were so tight that fans started joking they were like a throuple. The trio went everywhere, together, rocking matching outfits, posting cozy photos, and giving off total best friend energy. Nicola and Selena even took things up a notch with matching tattoos. Their friendship kicked off in October 2022 after meeting at a gala. And just a few months later, by January 2023, Selena was proudly calling herself their favorite +1. That's how close they were. Nicola even gushed in an interview, "Selena is my soul sister. I love her so much. She's one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my whole life. The kindest person ever. Truly, her heart is gold. I feel like I've known her forever." That's deep friendship energy right there. They even sealed their bond with matching angel tattoos. That's a pretty personal move. The two gave off serious emotional connection vibes, like they were totally inseparable. But then came the twist. By May 2025, a source claimed Selena was still talking to Nicola, even asking her for wedding advice. Yet, when Selena's big day arrived, Nicola and Brooklyn were completely Mia. How does that even happen? Fans quickly noticed the awkward silence, the missing invites, and the complete lack of interaction afterward. Whatever went down must have been major. Something definitely shattered that soul sister bond. Selena and Nicola once acted like sisters, glued at the hip, always posting together and hyping each other up online. So what could have possibly gone wrong between them? How do you go from matching tattoos and emotional captions to skipping each other's weddings? It's wild. And get this, Selena didn't show up for Nicola and Brooklyn's renewal ceremony either. That's not just shade, that's a friendship fallout for the books. That perfect. Wedding the one Claudia Peltz hoped would turn her daughter into a Hollywood icon ended up being a total disaster. And that renewal ceremony? Yeah, that looked more like PR cleanup than a celebration of love. But once Selena Gomez started dating Bay Blanco, things seemed to change big time. Maybe Benny helped her see through all the chaos, because insiders say Selena eventually got fed up with Nicola's diva attitude. Apparently, Nicola and Brooklyn skipped Selena's wedding completely. Either they weren't invited, or that friendship had already gone ice cold. Some people claim they were invited, but chose not to go. Though honestly, that's hard to believe. Now fans are desperate for Selena's side of the story. What really went down between them? What was said? And what pushed Selena to finally step away from that so-called? Maybe Benny really was her escape for more drama. Meanwhile, Brooklyn and Nicola seem totally unbothered by all the fallout, family tension, friendship drama, everything. Remember when Brooklyn made that emotional post spilling details about his family? He aired out a lot of behind-the-scenes chaos from their wedding. And instead of staying quiet, he and Nicola stood firm. A close source even told The Sun, "We're glad we did it." They said the couple felt like a massive weight was lifted off their shoulders and were thrilled with all the support they got afterward. It seems like all that public venting actually worked as therapy for them. After holding it all in for years, Brooklyn and Nicola finally let loose, and now they're acting happier than ever. But with all these feuds, lawsuits, and broken friendships trailing behind, people can't help but wonder, will there ever be peace for Nicola and Brooklyn? According to insiders, all this drama supposedly pushed Brooklyn to make one big decision to distance himself from his parents. A source close to Nicola insists she's not the controlling wife everyone paints her as. They claim that, as an outsider, Nicola helped Brooklyn finally recognize the emotional abuse and toxic behavior he allegedly grew up around, saying it wasn't healthy or normal and definitely not okay. That's a massive claim to make about one of the world's most famous families. But the Beckham camp wasn't having it. They fired back fast, calling the accusations ludicrous and patently untrue. One insider even described the whole thing as a deeply unpleasant attack that didn't deserve a real response. So now it's turned into a full-blown blame game, Nicola's side claiming she opened Brooklyn's eyes, while the Beckhams say she's twisting the story for attention. And honestly, people online are split. Some believe Brooklyn may have truly grown up in a tense family environment, while others think Nicola's just planting ideas in his head to turn him against his parents. Either way, this feud's far from over. A lot of fans say Nicola gives off serious controlling vibes, like she wants total control over how Brooklyn thinks and feels. One user even posted on X, "Brooklyn hasn't been the same ever since he married Nicola. She manipulated and brainwashed him." That's a heavy accusation, but it's one that keeps popping up again and again. Maybe it's a bold opinion, but it really feels like all those intense emotions toward the Beckhams came more from Nicola than from Brooklyn himself. Whatever's really happening, one thing's clear: this marriage has drawn some serious lines, and nobody's backing down. And here's a wild thought. What if the Peltz family actually pushed Brooklyn to distance himself from his parents as some kind of loyalty test? Like, he had to prove himself worthy of joining their billionaire circle. Sounds extreme, but people online swear that could be the case. Because, let's be honest, rumors say Nelson Peltz wasn't exactly thrilled when his princess fell for Brooklyn Beckham. He allegedly even called him a talentless disappointment. That's brutal. And to make things even messier, some fans believe Nicola was actually the one who wrote that emotional Instagram post on Brooklyn's account, the one that shaded his own family. Even without solid proof, it totally sounds like something Nicola would do to protect her image. There's even a blind item floating around about it, one that a major TikTok gossip page, Celebrity Blinds, covered in detail. And if that rumor has any truth to it, life inside the Peltz mansion might be a lot darker than anyone imagined. Nelson Peltz, Nicola's billionaire father, has been described by some as an intense and intimidating man. And her mom, Claudia, doesn't seem much softer either. That family gives off strong, rich, and ruthless energy. When you've got that much power and money, it's like drama just follows you everywhere. But here's where it gets seriously wild. People online have pointed out that Nelson Peltz allegedly had connections to controversial figures from the past. There's even an old video circulating online discussing those supposed links. If any of that's real, it's a dark shadow hanging over a family already known for chaos. One person online even said it straight up: the Peltz family is sinister. And honestly, after everything that's come out, can you really blame people? for thinking that? And just when you thought it couldn't get juicier, the DJ from Nicola and Brooklyn's wedding actually spoke up in an interview. He backed up a lot of what Brooklyn had hinted at before, which makes you wonder maybe this wasn't brainwashing at all. But the real story finally slipping out. There might actually be a little truth buried under all that chaos. The internet's completely divided. Some people are waving the Team Victoria flag loud and proud, while others are firmly on Team Nicola. Then there's the Team Mark Anthony crowd saying, "Leave him out of it, he was just doing his job." The sides are wild, and everyone's got something to say. But what do you really think about Nicola? Then, because in one of my past Fame Watch Daily videos, I mentioned how her family's been accused of treating their staff terribly. Nannies, maids, butlers, all of them. Word is, they go through employees like it's nothing, firing anyone who dares step out of line. That kind of behavior makes the whole Peltz family sound seriously chaotic. And it doesn't stop there. Nicola's got a bunch of siblings, and some of their stories deserve a deep dive too. With all the rumored family feuds, billionaire drama, and even those whispers about dark connections, there's still so much more to uncover. But before we go down that rabbit hole, I want to hear from you. Do you think Nicola's really the problem here? Or is she just an easy target because of her last name? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to Fame Watch Daily for your next dose of celebrity scandal breakdowns. See you in the next one.